Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we are doing one that I have a tiny bit of experience with myself, not much. This is the Animals version, because this is a cover from what I'm understanding. This is a cover of The House of the Rising Sun. This is a 1964 recording. This has high quality next to it, but of course it's from 1964, so it can't be super high quality.
It's pretty high quality for 1964. So,
but basically, from what I understand, is that this has been covered from multiple bands
for generations.
For generations.
It started out as an African American folk song.
Okay.
Okay, and it has gone from, all different kinds of people have covered this thing.
Myself included.
They were talking about Woody Guthrie. If you've Arlo Guthrie, who did Alice's Restaurant?
Yeah.
His dad covered it way back when. It was first recorded in 1920.
Okay.
And, Dylan did this. The funny part is that Dylan did this song 2 years before the Animals got a hold of it.
Okay.
So, it was just a song on one of his albums.
And it didn't go anywhere with Dylan.
And it didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, because everybody was doing it as acoustic folk.
Right.
Okay. They were the first ones who put electric to it.
Okay.
And which Dylan said later, after he heard them play this.
Didn't he start doing electric after that?
He started doing electric after this because he went, wow, you can actually use an electric guitar on folk music. So, and then all of a sudden things started, the industry a little bit started changing a little bit.
What's the song about?
They don't know. there's two theories.
Okay.
One of it is and I'm gonna read this if you don't mind.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Go for it.
One theory is that the song is about a brothel in New Orleans. The House of the Rising Sun was named after its occupant, Madame Marianne Le Soleil Levant, which means rising sun in French, and was open for business from 1862 until 1874. That's when there was the occupation of the Union troops. And it was closed due to complaints by neighbors. It was actually located at 826 through 830 St. Louis Street in New Orleans.
Okay.
Now, second theory is that it's about a women's prison in New Orleans called the Orleans Parish Women's Prison, which had an entrance gate that was adorned with rising sun artwork.
Okay.
And there's a lyric in here where he talks about a ball and chain, and that kind of would go along with the prison part of things. But anyway, so nobody really knows which one it is.
Okay.
It could fit either one.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought what was interesting was that the Animals performed this song for the first time when they were touring England with Chuck Berry.
Okay.
You know who Chuck Berry is?
Yeah, I know Chuck Berry is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that they were touring England with Chuck Berry in May of '64, and it went over so well that they recorded it between stops on the tour and made it, and it was like their signature song. Okay, so
they're the ones that really pushed it and got it to be more well known than the others.
And then so they started doing this in '64 and '65. That's when Dylan heard their version of it, and
started putting electric to his stuff,
and played it in an all-electric set at the Newport Folk Festival in '65. So here is Dylan going to this folk festival. Instead of listening to Peter, Paul, and Mary playing Puff the Magic Dragon, he comes out with his electric.
Oh, goodness.
Playing folk music with electric. So anyway, so it was kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting backstory a little bit. But I always thought it was about the brothel.
Okay.
I never heard the part about the
women's prison.
The women's prison, but
I guess it's up to interpretation.
So it is. So I guess I'm gonna listen to the lyrics again and try and put it with the backstory now, because that was the first time I ever read the backstory. So
okay.
Anyway,
you'll get to hear about my experience with this later.
So
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's get started, guys.
In New Orleans, they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. In God, I know I'm one. Tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your lives in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun.
I like that dude.
You see the look on his face.
Yeah, I saw the look on his face, and then the guy behind him had the biggest grin on his face. Yeah,
But
I like that dude. I don't know why.
Who, Eric Burden?
Yeah,
The singer?
yeah, I like him. And I don't know why.
When he just looks so stone cold.
Yeah.
You know, just that stare.
Getting that stare And singing with that kind of a raspy southerner voice and keeping your mouth like this and barely moving it, that takes so much, for me, that would take so much concentration and focus. But then again, I'm a very visual person. But he's just, like, it's kind of like a, I can see where the prison stuff comes into it. I can see where that could come into it. Just because of how it sounded, I can hear it with an old prison movie, and I can hear it. An old black and white prison movie having this song behind it. Okay. Or him just wandering through a prison, like that. Everyone's, go back to your cells. Kind of like how, like the Elvis Presley song that we did. I forget which one that we did, but that he was in the prison setting.
Jailhouse Rock.
Jailhouse Rock. But I'm just saying. But
okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this.
I'm hearing. I'm listening.
You have that kind of a setting, but I can see him walking through, not a jail, but a prison. Walking through a prison, inmates right next to him.
I can see him walking down Alcatraz.
Exactly. I can see him and I can see them doing that exact thing, but around Alcatraz, black and white, 1950s, I can see it. Clear as day, I can see it. I wish they had done it because that would have been such a cool video.
I had listened to the, I've known the music, but I really wanted to listen to the lyrics in this.
Okay.
To see what fit.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is that the way that they did the lyrics, it could be, and there were some lyrical changes, okay, that they did, okay, because originally, apparently, it actually used the word prostitute in it. Okay, which would.
It's a touchy word.
Okay, so they wanted to make it radio friendly.
Right.
So they said his dad was a gambler. His mom was a tailor.
Okay.
Okay, so it made it friendlier.
Okay.
So, but when you listen to it, I was listening to it, and I'm hearing all this part about it's been the ruin of many a young boy. That'd be a brothel.
I can hear the brothel, yes.
That'd be the brothel. I can hear that. On the other side, the ball and chain part could be the prison. But
it's been the ruin of many young boy. Really, that a prison can do that too.
Well, yeah, but this was
it's two different meanings of ruin young boy.
Well, it was a women's prison, so the women's prison wanted to ruin the young boy. The prostitution would.
I got you.
Okay, but
that theory was a women's prison. I can see this
the
going
theory
for any prison.
The theory of the women's prison was, mothers, tell your children not to do the things I've done.
Right.
And talking about the ball and chain, talking about talking about all the hard things. But you know what? If you think about it, how many women were probably forced into prostitution?
Right.
Who were forced to be at the brothel. Okay. Who were, that, to be honest with you, could be the ball and chain.
Right.
Okay. Because they were under somebody's
rule. Right. Okay. Or under, someone had control over them.
And so if I start taking some of the prison kind of lyrics, it would make sense, because if you were one of them that, they came in on the train, they came to New Orleans, now they're at the brothel.
Right.
Okay. That could be the prison. That could be their prison.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So,
go either way.
So you can have the two separate things, or it could actually be intertwined and just be the House of the Rising Sun, which to me would make sense. But the prison, what do they call prisons? The big house. Right. So it could be the House of the Rising Sun with that stuff on the gate, or it could be the whorehouse. okay,
Yeah.
of the Rising Sun, who actually was the one whose name was Rising Sun in French, who was the madam.
Right.
Okay, so that would be the house of
Right.
the Rising Sun.
Right.
So, you know, it's really interesting. I'm going to go though with the fact that they're talking about the brothel,
Okay.
and with you know, the feeling of some of the women who may have been there,
Mhm.
you know, of being in prison,
Right.
and, you know, having that as their ball and chain.
Okay.
So, combination of both.
Okay.
I think I got it. They should have asked me this back in 1964. I would have told them as a
As you're 8 years
as a
old.
wise ass.
As you're 8 years
As a
old.
wise ass 7 at that
7-year-old.
point. At this point, I was only 7.
That's,
So-
that's my point. Why is that 7-year-old? Okay.
They should have asked,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't.
You know what I have not told them yet?
Tell them about your.
My experience with
Tell
it.
them about your experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my experience. Here's a little throwback. Hopefully this will come out on a Thursday, so this will be a throwback Thursday story. If not, whoops, you get a throwback Thursday story anyway. Whenever this video goes
This is
out.
pretty cool.
So in my instrument ensemble class at school, it was me and like maybe 3-4 other people, and it was one of the, you know, a lot of people said, "Oh, you're going to do your band director's dirty work," and I didn't want to look at it like that. That's what a lot of people said. You know, you're going to be, and you're just going to do what he tells you to do. Because in the beginning of like marching season and stuff like that,
Yep.
when we had to go down to the field, set everything up for football games, you know, pack trucks, stuff like that for competitions, put stuff in the coolers, all that other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we were helping out. We were I always saw it as contributing, you know, to the overall thing. I didn't see it as you're doing his dirty work for him. No, I saw it as we're helping to contribute to it because I enjoyed the program that I was in. So I didn't have a problem doing it. That's why whenever he would send out an email saying, "Hey, I need help setting up, whatever," I would always ask my teacher. So number one, I could get out of class, but number two, I could help set something up because I felt like I was part of something. And I was in the production to make it happen. Anyway, but in this class, we had a solo unit. And some people were doing really high jazz pieces, some people were doing some folk pieces. Well, I chose to do The House of the Rising Sun on my trumpet, and I think I did a fairly good job on it. For me, soloing, I think that says a lot because I hate soloing, and he made me solo, so I couldn't stand it. But basically what it was the main melody, and then it had a slow piano part behind it. The do 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 do. It had the slow piano part behind it. But I always thought it was too fast. I always thought it was too fast, and whenever I would rehearse it, I practiced it at like 30 clicks lower. So I think this would probably be at about 130, but I think I took it at about 80. Like I really slowed it down.
Okay.
So da 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 da. I really slowed it down.
Okay.
And one of my friends who was playing the piano, she would always look at me and say, "Brennan, you're slowing this way too far down." I said, "I know. It's your job to keep up with me." Because she wanted to take it at the actual written tempo, and I said no, because number one, I don't want to play it at the written tempo, but I don't like it at the written tempo.
But she likes playing
Right.
at that rate.
Right,
Yeah.
she likes playing at faster tempos.
Yeah.
I don't, but I needed somebody to play on the piano, play that part, and she was willing to do it. She was the only, pianist?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the only pianist in my class, and she's our best, piano player out of the entire band. So I'm like, okay, I have to have you play this, but you gotta go slow. You gotta go with me. And she said, okay, well, you gotta stay on tempo then. And I said, okay, I'll stay on tempo, but we're going at a slower tempo. And she said, fine. But as we were starting to play this, it comes to the point where, I have to perform this for the class of 4 people. And I was playing, and I get all the way through, and I get to this point where, for a musician, you're not supposed to breathe. It's either on a bar line or it's in a tie of a note, whatever. But, I always took a breath where I wasn't supposed to, and I knew I was going to get nailed for it because my band director always looked at me and said, "Brennan, do not breathe on a bar line, do not breathe during a tie, do not breathe during anything." But I made the rest of the piece sound really, really nice. And in that break, I think I had maybe 4 or 5 beats maybe to catch a quick breath and empty my spit valves before I had to come back in. And I think I missed a quarter note or something like that before I came back in. But afterwards, he looked at me and said, good job. However, and I'm like, oh God. And I said, it's where I breathed, wasn't it? And he's like, yeah, it's where you breathe. You couldn't have, taken a breath anywhere else. I said, did you want me to cut up any other piece of the song because it was just me? And he's like, no, I liked how you played it. I said, okay, cool. So you're going to excuse that I took a breath there. And then he looked at me and said, and I could hear, and I saw that you had to empty your spit valve. Which on a trumpet, if you don't empty your spit valve, it's going to sound like crap anyway because you're going to get a bunch of bubbles and whatnot in it, and the airs, it's not good. So he's like, yeah, and you had to empty your spit valve. And I'm like, yeah, I had to do all this stuff. So, and he's like, yeah, you did a good job. But,
so let me ask, as far as when she was playing.
Yeah.
Okay. You know that break when he wasn't singing?
Yeah.
And it was just all keyboard?
Did
she do that?
No. It never, had that massive piano break in it. It was just the main...
I can see her doing that.
It was just the main thing behind it.
Because I've heard her play so many times, and she is just absolutely, she would knock your socks off.
Yeah.
And so I could see her doing that, but anyway.
But basically what happened was that, in her words, I could not stay on tempo to save my life. But the way that I was playing it, I played it slower, and I played it to a point where it sounded good to how I was doing it. Mm-hmm. So it was only... I played it the first 3/4 of it, and then she joined in at the end where in the version that I had, it slowed down at the end instead of this one where it speeds up.
Okay.
My version, it slowed down at the end, and I took a repeat and came back to it, and it slowed down. And that's where she joined me back in, because of course I have a repeat, so I'm playing the same thing all over again. But I wanted something extra. I wanted another bit of texture in there, so it was only me for the first 3/4 of it, and then she came in at the end and made it sound really, really good. I wish I had it on, a video or something so that I could put it on here, but because I'm not going to replay it for you. But that's my experience with this song. It's a good song.
It is a good song.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. This is one of the songs that normally I heard on FM.
Yeah.
Versus AM.
Oh, I believe it.
So.
I believe it.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Anyway. You all set? Enough with my jabbering.
I'm good.
Anyway. Mm-hmm. All right. On to today's announcements. All right.
Take a breath. Take a breath and... Do you need to empty your spit valves now? Okay.
You now have coronavirus on your floor.
So you're good.
Sure. Alrighty guys, don't forget to check out Coffee First, Scheme Later. That link is up in the corner above Dad's head. Once again, make sure to subscribe over there so you don't miss whenever we post over there. Courtney and I are trying to get some stuff together, or at least I'm trying to brainstorm some things that we can do while we're apart. So make sure you subscribe over there so when a video drops, you do not miss it. Also, guys, remember you can buy your t-shirts, hoodies, etc. down below using the code Easter20 for your 10% off at checkout. You've got less than a week to go, probably about less than half a week at this point.
Probably 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, probably, depending on when this video comes out. So make sure you use that code while you can, because once it's gone, you won't be able to use it anymore. But make sure to use that code down below. Also, remember, guys, if you'd like to become a Patreon member, you can also become a Patreon member down below with those links. If you don't know what Patreon is the membership that you can have to the channel where you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes, exclusive reaction videos just to Patreon, additional discount codes for the Bass Player store, for the Teespring link, just one-on-one communication with me and Dad so you don't have to sift through, comments and social media and stuff like that. It's an easier way to get in touch with us.
Right.
And even just as much as description mentions and shout-outs, which I do get to thank the following patrons who felt pledged to make this video possible and for being awesome. That'd be Teresa Anderson, Hotspace, and Petro, Karen Barone, Sandy Thomas, Courtney Truax, Cindy Rice, Dawn Kula, and Alexis R. Thank you all so much for your constant love and support, guys. If it weren't for you, we say it at the end of every video, but we really do mean it, that it would be a lot harder for us to do what we do here if you all were not here with us. So we greatly appreciate you sticking around with us even through this tough time. If you too would like to become a Patreon member, all of you who are not Patreon members, if you would like to, you can become one down below for as little as $1 a month. It's only $12 a year. It's not a whole lot. It's pretty much it's an average McDonald's visit.
It's
about $12 for 3 people. About $12.
Hey, it's one McDonald's coffee a month.
Right.
I think you can give up one McDonald's cup of coffee.
Questionable cup of coffee.
Questionable cup of coffee in the first place,
right.
But I think you can do that.
Anyway, so if you would like to become a Patreon member, get your name in the description or any of the other perks we just listed. Make sure to become a Patreon member down below. Also remember, guys, last announcement today that we will, at 1,000 subscribers, open up the P.O. Box. We're right around 130, if not under 130 away, so we really need your all's help so that we can hit this. The goal was to hit it by the beginning of April, but I really hope that we can hit it by the end of April. That is the new goal. And I know we can do it for all of you who are not subscribed. I know we can do it. I know there are some of you out there who want to send us letters, drawings, peanut butter chocolate fudge, snickerdoodles, whatever else it may be, or even a letter for me and Courtney or whatever it is, but in order to do that, I saw that. In order to do that, you gotta subscribe down below to help us achieve that goal. Alrighty, guys, so don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack that like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.